Well, hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So, today, we are going to be taking a look at my current Polygons deck, but I will be making some alterations to it. However, this effectively is going to be the Polygons deck that I used to complete Victory Track and get my first 100 points in GC as well. Oh, to be fair, the plan was to record this video when I got to GC, but I accidentally played a bit more and got to 100 points as well. So I'm going to explain the choices, and I'm also going to go over the champions that I'm probably taking out, as well as some definite additions that I'm going to be making. So, we're going to be moving to this screen and going to go over it class by class. The science class is quite simple. Thing is a very good defender, because he will trigger protection a lot, so generally there are fairly small amount of champions that can do him quick, well, and efficiently. Not to mention the fact that when you strike his block, if AI gets a bit iffy and drops that block even for a second, you know, he often will go unstoppable. So I think it's very good defender in this meta. Draft him frequently, he does well. And Spider-Punk is awesome for this too. And the main reason why Spider-Punk is very, very good for this is because you can use him in matchups where he can't really hit opponent's block. Because number one, he gets easy guaranteed openings. He has his away don't parry, then you have your safe intercepts, and therefore, you know, getting openings against like Dust or Zola or whatever is super, super easy. The second thing is that you can play him as you do other champions in this meta, just by striking the opponent's block and also throwing level 2 in the opponent's block and inflicting the ruptures. So he's quite fast because he does benefit from the invade damage increase. So basically with him, most of the fights is get to level 2, throw it in the block ideally, and then everybody dies. So Spider-Punk has been doing quite well. You're going to notice that I'm not running Spider-Woman, and I'm not running Photon either. Photon, there's an argument for Photon because she does slow down the opponent's power gain, but in my experience, with, you know, Valkyries and with Baron Zemo's running around and whatnot, she still goes down like a sack of bricks in this meta. And just about any champion can do her quite efficiently now. So, maybe a bit slower than normal, but still, I didn't find it worth to be running her for now. Skill class, Kate is back. Kate effectively works the same way as Spider-Punk, and that's also the reason why she's good, because she can do the Red Skulls, she can do the Zolas, the champions that you do not want to hit in the block. You just build up to your level 2, drop your level 2 in the block, and the opponent's gonna die very, very fast. So Kate Bishop is very strong here. Then Okoye, I'm actually not super sold. I don't draft her too much, but you still kind of want to have her for the weight prevention, and obviously she is still a counter to Yelena and several fights, but she's not like super effective. I just find her still to be needed. Yelena for me is basically an auto ban, because Yelena is one of the top 5 attackers in this meta. And she's also a very, very capable defender, so Yelena is crazy, crazy good for this. She nukes everything very fast. Baron Zemo is doing quite well, because obviously he does have extra block penetration, and also he can crit through block, so generally speaking, he, you know, has reasonably okay damage. Nick Fury is just for the Nick Fury reasons. Bullseye in this meta has kind of his role reversed, because he's fairly crappy defender for most part, but he's a very good offensive champion, because he crits through block, those burst bleeds are also quite viable, and he does well offensively. Massacre, I haven't been super impressed with. He actually might be coming out. I don't know, I'll see about that. He's only a rank 3, obviously not a rank 4, but overall, I haven't used him all that much in this meta, I'll be frank. Now, in the Mutant class, I am running Onslaught, Jean Grey, Havoc, and Dust. Dust, number 1, is quite a good defender because you can't hit her block, so whenever opponent is going to take her down, you're forcing them to fight her normally for the most part. And that's quite important. Havoc does well because there are tons of energy damage champions, and also in this meta, if you want to be striking opponent's block all the time, that, you know, will leave open. You basically kind of have to push Havoc to level 2, right? And it's kind of harder in this meta, as well as reparrying with most champions, not a great option. So yeah. Havoc works quite nicely, so does Jean Grey. Jean Grey doesn't have anything special going on for her offensively at all, aside from the fact that you can land a parry and the power shield is going to absorb some of the damage. But obviously on defense, she can still, you know, be a bit of a menace. Opponents still have to deal with reverse controls. Stuff can go wrong. She's okay. She's not like the craziest one. She's not an auto draft this meta like she will be in the next one. She's quite nice still. Onslaught, honestly, it's quite bad. Like, Onslaught is absolutely useless on defense in this meta for most part. But offensively, I'm still kind of keeping him. I might take him out because I always, or just about always, ban Yelena. And part of the reason why he's there is because he is a counter to her. So I think actually I might be removing Onslaught from my deck this meta. So we'll see about that. Cosmic is quite straightforward. Imperiosa kind of sucks. Don't like her. I'm going to take her out in this meta. She hasn't done the best for me. But Hulkling obviously does tremendously well. He's a good attacker. He can be okay defender to stall opponents a little bit here as well. Thanos is one of my other almost auto-ban champions because he's a gnarly defender. And you really kind of need Kushala or Nico in order to deal with him reasonably good in this meta. Serpent, again, is more dangerous than normal because that block damage is absolutely crazy. One of the coolest Serpent Hunters is actually Yondu in this meta. He does that fight very well. Then Caroline Dean worked fine. There's nothing wrong with her. And then obviously Dark Phoenix, which I probably do need to get another counter for. As I said, Imperios is definitely coming out of the deck. I'm going to later suggest a few champions that are going to go back in or in for the first time. Now, Tex, quite simple. Yondu is the GOAT. Yondu is the craziest attacker in this meta. He can do most of the fights in like 30 seconds or so. Sentinel is slightly slower, but he's still crazy good. You generally have like 30 plus second fights with him, but again, hit the opponent's block, get level 2, and most of the things will die with that. And yeah, so Yondu and Sentinel are like almost auto draft levels of crazy good in this meta. Red Skull is significantly better defender because there are not many champions that deal with Red Skull exceptionally well in this meta that could hit his block freely. So again, that is why stuff like Kate Bishop, Spider-Punk, so on is very important here. And then we do have Shocker. Shocker also does tremendously large amount of damage through block, so he's a very good attacker. Zola is a nice defender because you can't hit his block, generally speaking. Or you're gonna get, put to sleep. And Starhand Spider-Man, again, for those fights where you can't really hit the opponent's block, so he does his job quite well. And in the Mystic class, Kindred is a very dangerous defender because you do not want to block that level 1 hit. So that makes the fight, significantly trickier immediately. Otherwise, you're going to end up taking a ton of block damage. Werewolf is doing just fine. He's going to be crazy in the next meta, though. Then we have Nico and Kushala, both very capable attackers. Kushala with Skull Twitch Relic, set on the regeneration mode, effectively recovers enough of the block damage for you to be able to parry normally. And then Nico just does very well, and you can spam her level 1s in opponent's block for most opponents, and you're going to be doing very quick fights as well. And obviously Nico is also one of the gnarliest defenders, because if her AI gets aggressive and she doesn't start holding block immediately, even if you have a good counter, the fight's going to be awful, because she's going to throw those level 1s, you're going to dex it, and then she's going to gain a ton of extra power, and you can't punish it, and the fight just goes sideways very fast. And Enchantress is also very nasty defender in this meta, pending on what kind of spell she gets at the beginning, but Enchantress is quite evil. So that is my deck for now. You guys can take a screenshot if you want. So, as I said, Imperios is definitely going out, in my opinion. She hasn't been doing all that well. Maybe Massacre is. Potentially Onslaught is somebody that I would be taking out here as well. And then I would have to kind of like think a bit harder. The champions that I do want to add in. Quicksilver was okay. He's reasonably good defender and can be very good attacker in this meta as well, due to him having like 1 billion hits on his combo. And the cool thing about Quicksilver, obviously, defensively, is when opponents get a whiplash, the only way to get rid of it is to parry. And obviously, you don't want to parry in this meta at all. So, yeah, I might be putting Quicksilver back in. Captain Britain, I did not find to be worth it at all. There's Domino and Cassandra Nova. Cassandra Nova I kind of want to test out in this meta, because I think she could work out, because she does have that, guaranteed opening with that passive stun, and with the invade nodes and her downtids, she could potentially put up some decent numbers through block as well, and she's going to be good for Nick. So I think that's going to be one of the first changes that I make. I'm going to take out Imperiosa, and I will add Cassandra Nova. I have been actually digging Cassandra quite a bit lately. Where is she? There you go. That's Cassandra back in. Then, besides that, another champion that I do want to add, that I had decided on adding. Might be quite surprising. It's going to be a 6-star champion. I kid you not. A 6-star champion is going to be outperforming all of these suckers in just a second here. And who was I? Was it Onslaught that I'm taking out? I'm going to take on Massacre for now. That 6-star champion is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is actually a menace in this meta, as I have recently found out. Because number one, it basically starts with the bar power. Right? His level 1 is fairly difficult to dex. So you're either going to take a bunch of block damage immediately, or you're going to get hit by it, and he's going to put 3 withers on you. When he gets 3 withers on you, kinetic transference doesn't work, and you do not gain any power from hitting his block. Even if you dex that level 1 fully, he has massive amounts of regeneration on his block. So he's going to take very little damage unless you put on a ton of debuffs or heal block him. So, overall, he was quite a gnarly option on defense, I'm not gonna lie. Next champion I probably need to take rank 4 in Western is Absman, but that should happen quite shortly. Absman is also quite tragically good in this meta, both offensively and defensively, because he can kind of stuff kinetic transference, and offensively he can absolutely nuke too. The problem with me for this meta is obviously because it's week 1 and 2 meta, so I don't want to commit too many rank ups, if any, for this meta and save them for Polka Dot Power Shield meta, largely. But Absman's crazy good. Another few champions that people are running, I'm going to be kind of obvious here, I suppose. Null is quite decent in this meta. We do have Corvus that I haven't ranked up, that does very well. So definitely want to give a shout out to Corvus. He's a frequent champ that people are using. Besides Corvus, we obviously have Valkyrie as well, that I have not ranked up. And again, I would rank up my Valkyrie if this would be the last meta of the season. Since it isn't, I don't feel as inclined to do so. Mantis is an absolute menace though, and she is potentially going to make my deck. Yeah, I think I should add her, to be honest. So, who will I take out? I kind of said that I want to take out Onslaught. Since I keep banning Elena, so I think for now, we're going to be doing that. Because Mantis, again, you can just get in your Intimidate on the opponent, then hit their block, get your level 2, and then effectively nuke them. There's also a trick where you can, after a heavy attack, basically kind of guarantee that your heavy is going to land in... Sorry, your special is going to land in the block. And that is a very nice trick to kind of like just blow everybody out completely. So these are the changes that I will be testing. And hopefully, we're going to get to the 200 point mark very, very soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys shortly. Let me know your MVPs. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about